Hello and welcome back to me playing Oxygen Not Included. Hard mode, so Dupe's eating twice the amount of calories, getting stressed out easily. And in this episode, I think I'm finally going to be turning the Research Reactor on for good, or at least for continual use. I've got this infrastructure, so still changes need to be made. First bit that I'm going to do is I need some liquid sitting on top of these steam turbines. So that's why in the last episode I brought up some of this brine and just making a pathway from pipes up to 3 different locations where my steam turbine is. Each one of those locations has a shut-off switch, so when I measure the appropriate amount of liquid, about 75 kilograms, I can turn that off. So I'll be back when the dupes have that created. So the left wing of turbines have the proper amount of brine, so I was able to turn that off. The top one is filling up. That's obviously going to take a little bit longer since that's much wider. And now I should actually find, oh no, a little bit of construction is needed. They can't access that. Maybe I should give them a path that they can actually get down there to build that, and then we'll get the third one filled up as well. While I'm waiting for that to happen, I can actually put in some of the radiant pipe. I'm going to need that covering the steam turbines themselves, the floor. For this one as well, and of course the other 3 that are over here. So I'm going to try a different trick around this one. I'm going to make a pipe go down like this. I'm going to make an insulated pipe go up like this. I have regular pipe from this point on. And let's take the temperature of this liquid right here, and I'll have automation wire controlling whether or not this aquatuner is on or not. We'll see how this this setup goes. So I've got now the 3 brine levels on top of the steam turbines. So just waiting for a little bit more radiant pipe, and what I'm essentially want to do is have a full circuit of brine going all the way around in and out of the aquatuners when it's when cooling is needed, and that's going to keep the steam turbines cool itself, so that the steam turbines can keep the reactor. So now I've got my brine line going all the way around, circulating the whole way, visiting 2 aquatuners in case it's needed, getting the steam turbines, 16 of them, keeping them cool. So now I got to think about the recycling of water. So what I want to have happen is a lot of the steam is going to be dumped off here in one of these 5 different things, keeping this cool. But I also need to put water inside this itself, and I don't want to continually provide new water. So I'm going to have 3 points that I'm going to be taking water from the steam turbines. I'll take the top ones, and I won't bother with the ones at the bottoms, because this will be enough. So essentially, the top steam turbines, they're going to be providing water to go into it. In addition, if this line becomes jammed up, which may happen at some point completely fine, then their water can just be added to the cooling effect. So if we can, or when those are filled up, I'm going to have water go down here, and I'll just put a liquid bridge right here, but eventually I'll be snapping this, so I won't have to provide new water into the system. Won't do that just yet, but actually this whole thing will be recycling water from the steam turbines. And one other note, I'm making insulated pipes in this brine line over here, because I'm going to put some radbolt engines over here, and that's going to cause a lot of heat, so just kind of thinking a little bit ahead with that. I think we're now pretty close. Let's close this thing off if I want to have this thing running. See, I'm okay. Maybe it's time to generate some more ceramic. Natural gas is filled up here. Maybe it's time I let the excess just be pumped out in space. Let's see. I want a bunch of ceramic. Give me 99 units for 3. And that should allow us to finish the construction up here. One of the last things I want to do before turning this system on is come up with a system to sort of transfer the heat from here to the sort of ends of some of these steam turbines. So it's not just the ones that are at the top that are getting all of the heat. So I'm going to do a radiant pipe for this. I'm going to put, we have 4 different lines. So we'll have one here. And so essentially I'm going to have one for each wing. This one here is going to send some hot liquid around here. Then I'll have another one, say, looking like this. Oops. That's going to send radiant pipe around here. And I'll have another one over here. And it won't entirely be made out of radiant pipe. It'll just be the 2 ends. The part that is around the reactor where it's really hot, that's obviously going to get one. Oh, I need some radiant pipe for this little section as well. Go up like this. Maybe I'll even try to, if I can hit the cancel button there, get this to go down. We'll visit over there. And I'm going to fill this with petroleum, not the best for temperature interaction, but I need something that can get really hot, which water couldn't, for instance, brine couldn't. But this should, the brine, or the petroleum will meet my needs for this. Now the wings probably don't need this as much, the bottom wings probably doesn't need this as much, because I've got aqua tuners anyways, and they'll be providing a lot of heat. Get this over here, so I've got, that's one of my lines. This is going to be another one right here. It's 2. Gotta fix that. So while I'm building these, I'm having the dupes redirect the petroleum line to come up into this area, reusing the brine line that was coming up here, because now I don't need any new brine. And I'm going through the tiles, especially when it gets to the end, because that's going to have the better temperature interaction than the steam itself. Alright, need some of these guys just to direct or jump over that there. And did this one need one? This one looks good, though everyone will have to have one of these bridges anyways, just to direct the flow of petroleum. Alright, so still looks like I'm waiting for petroleum to be loaded. Is there anything I'm missing? Maybe there's a bridge or somewhere, something like that. Oh, yeah, I see. let's just have this go down like this. We should be getting petroleum up in this area. So as the last bits of pipe are being installed here, I'm going to find a way to load this petroleum in. So start that process now. Connect that into the first line over here. So one line is filled up. Maybe I'll just use that one to fill in the other ones. So connect into here, here, and here. So now I've got this line filling up. Gotta worry about not filling them up so there's no space that they can cycle. Though I can always break a pipe and then replace it at the end, as long as I remove that one. But right now, let's just get every piece filled up here. Decided I'm going to need liquid bridge. At least one on every line. That one didn't have one. So it's the third one going up and filling up petroleum. And we'll get down to the third one. You can see the dupe that's been over here is idle. Not that many things left to dig out. Give him his digging skills back. So I'll have to think if there's any reason to keep this dupe here. Or maybe it's time to send this dupe back to the homeworld. So I think we're almost there. I've got kind of need to make there on that pipe. These three are cycling around, which is great. That means they'll be taking heat as they interact with this to the far edges. And I might need to destroy one of these pipes, rebuild it to get this to go around. Or maybe we'll see what happens once that liquid bridge disappears too. Which is about to happen. Oh no! It's not what I wanted. Dupes. Alright, are they able to mop that up? They can. Let's try that again, shall we? Liquid bridge. That's what I want you to destroy, dupes. We'll put this back. Okay, getting excited now. I see the 4 petroleum lines are making their way around. I think everything is ready. Oh, let's definitely close this off here and here. So the entrance here is if the dupes want to go in, which they'll need to load in some material every now and then. They can go in through here. It sort of does have a protection from steam getting out with the petroleum sitting there. But the door is just sort of a backup system. Certainly, we got to make sure that is blocked off. And then we can actually go. So everything is a vacuum right now. And once this thing heats up, all this water is going to turn to steam. And the steam turbines will operate when that steam gets hot enough and high enough pressure. With all this in place, I don't want the dupes to put in any material without their hazard gear, so I've disabled this, which is allowing them to get in here quickly. I'm also going to put 2 tiles here and here. Then I'm going to allow people to go in and out. In fact, this is now going to be the only way they can get up there. And this is so initially I said I was only having them put 15 kilograms worth of enriched uranium. Well, now they can put as much as they want. I haven't indicated that they can go. Let's definitely make a backup save in case I may have forgotten one of the little details, which I'll find out if that is the case. But now with that, let's press the button. The button that enables the research reactor So one of the dupes, I guess it's going to be Chef. That's all right. Slow things down just a little bit. They're going up with enriched uranium, and they're putting it in, and we're in operation. So I have 4 radbolt generators operating. I may not have the power support for that until these things turn on. So maybe I'll see how it goes for now. That's mighty useful, Jared. They're just being whipped off in space. That being the case, let me turn all these off for the time being. And just save my power. And what I'll want to do is have a radbolt reflector right here. And that's just going to fire down. Okay. Alright, didn't take long for that to be created. Oh, I just realized that dupes can get up in this area now that I've reconstructed this. So let's not have that happen. Okay. I can enable these once more. I'll see if I can get away. Oh, let's start with 2. And then I'll do 4 later on. So there, let's review this process. This is going down here. Oh yeah, that's right. I made a second one of these. I don't know if I put in the automation. I may not have. Let's check. Actually, I don't even think... I had 2 of these when I was on the phase 1 of the system. I actually don't see a point with the second one. What I will do is build a diamond press. But let's tear that down first. Let's check in. It is 107 degrees. Very hot. But it's going to get much hotter. I see a lot of steam. There's still water on the bottom. Steam turbines aren't operating. I've set these to be above 50. So if either one of those detect the brine line gets below 50 degrees, they'll kick in. Yeah, we're just getting an immense amount of radiation. The amount of waste, nuclear waste, is going to add up. But I won't bother opening these until the water goes away. Okay, alright, so we've got room now. Let's take that out. That out. And I've got to put the press in here somewhere. Actually, I'll probably have multiple presses. Now that is going to... I'm going to have a radbolt reflector. So if it doesn't pick up on this one, I want to shoot in like this and out like that. Now these machines are tall. So I'll actually have to get some ladders and dig some area out before I actually put them in. So doing some research on radbolt engine, now that I've got steady stream radbolts to keep material study terminal busy. But even with that, I may have some extra radbolts. So that's why I'm putting that diamond press to get effect when we try putting 2 in. So having a look at this thing, lots of steam, no more water. Do have water being dropped off still in the insides. It's probably enough at this point, so I'm going to actually move to destroy that. Still don't have the steam turbines running just yet, but that's definitely going to happen once things heat up. Colony achievement earned. Wonder if that has to do with the reactor. Radical trip. Well, yeah, it kind of does have radbolts travel a cumulative 10 kilometers. So the first steam turbines are turning on, generating probably a very small amount of power. Current wattage 270. Well, I mean nothing super small, but they're not filled up. They're directing water back onto this thing, keeping it cool and providing power at the same time. So that is awesome. Now I'm just noticing or taking advantage of the fact that now I have steam everywhere. So the only liquid inside this area is the nuclear waste. So I'm going to get rid of these buttons. And I'm going to have these here set to, well, I may need to experiment with the value, but I'll say above 200. So basically the nuclear, the waste gets up there, then open this trap door, allowing it to start to drain, and when it goes beyond below 200, the door will close. Alright, risk of having two things set up with a signal. I'm going to now connect that, but the dupes will be destroying the switch very soon. So we just started research on the final part of getting the radbolt engine. Another colony achievement has been earned. That's rad. Run our research reactor at full capacity for 5 cycles. We're definitely going to get a lot more than just 5 cycles. So every steam turbine is running. Not at high capacity, but it has started. What's the pressure inside? 127. Just wondering when the right time is to cut this and direct water in so that I never have to add additional water. Though I certainly have no shortage of water thanks to this guy here. You don't have power. Did I cut? Oh, I see. Maybe I should be on top of this. Definitely. Alright, so actually just that is, why don't we just take that as a sign then? So now water is being dropped, drained out and going into this. Now thankfully I built these, so I've got some time here. I'm going to actually have water directed from the steam turbines back in once that little pipe is created. So now I can see water being provided from the steam turbines at the top, starting to enter into this area here, so I can continually cycle the water from inside there, the steam turbines, and then back again. What temperature do we have? 138 or so. And lots of radbolts are being put in here. You have enough for the diamond press to run on top of the material study terminal. And I only, at this point, have one of these. In fact, I think turn 2 back on now. It is cycle 600. So just putting some gas mask stations in this zone, because I'm going to be building some radbolt engines in this area. Let's have a look here. 144 degrees. Steam turbines generating lots of power. We've got a backup of water here, so 4 of these things are full, which is really good. That means there's lots of water for this thing to consume, and will keep being the case as the steam turbines will provide water on that side, as well as cooling the top of it. And of course, getting lots of radbolts into the material study terminal, so I can research finally the radbolt rocket and build one. So I changed my mind on the gas masks
mostly because the radiation, and I'm playing hard mode, and the dupes are so sensitive to radiation, and they're going to be out in space for the next while. So what I'm going to do is I built already these lead suit docking stations. They're filling up with oxygen. I'm going to have a path up here. I'm going to have a dip down station with some liquid, maybe water or something, to prevent gases from escaping. And what that's going to allow me to do is have the dupes work out here with a bit of radiation protection, just as they can when they go into this zone. And that's going to allow me to build some radbolt rockets once research is complete for that. So on this asteroid, I decided to push this little bit of water into the oil well to produce more crude oil. Eventually, I'm going to have this world here with its vast amounts of water to be sending some of that to that asteroid for processing, conversion into crude oil. Over here, we're nearly complete. See a lot of radiation vomiting happening. So that's essentially why I have these put in place, so that when my dupes are out here, they'll have more protection. Because when they were doing construction here, well, obviously now that this one's different, I had built a ceiling over this area before they had actually did a lot of the construction here, preventing them from getting sick as much. But when I'm going to do construction over here and build these rocket platforms for radbolt rockets, well, I need to leave the area open at the top, and the radiation is just too much for them. So that's why I put in these seats here, or these stations. There's been lots of mess to clean up. The dupes experiencing radiation sickness. So very happy to have the point where I'm going to actually now prevent the dupes from going outside, at least in this path. Now that I've got this that's going to protect my environment, my hydrogen, and eventually oxygen from leaking out, I can actually dig out. And this is now going to be the path that my dupes take to build anything outside, including the radbolt rockets and everything that goes with it. So just wait for one of the dupes to dig that out. And there we are. I now can get the dupes outside. Just finish the ladder, fire pole. Oops, don't need that. I think that will finish for this episode. So I have turned this on to run continuously. I have put in the liquid to do the cooling that goes around these steam turbines. It's a brine line, currently about 50 degrees. That's what I've set it here. If it's above 50, then the aqua tuners are running. Two of them are currently running, so it shows, I think the ratio, someone said it's 10 per thermal aqua tuner. Because I have 16, I've got 2. I also understand that there's only 10 is needed to keep this as cool. Well, I've got 16, so definitely be feeling like this should be fine. I'm wondering what temperature this is going to even out at. It's been slowly rising. I'm thinking there's going to be a point where it'll maintain 160, 180. We'll see as time goes on. I also have, in addition to the cooling line, I have this petroleum line that's taking the hot temperatures here and sending them to the various different wings, just to sort of take the heat and disperse it, so that these aqua tuners or steam turbines can run as much as the other ones. And this is not something that is operated or been turned on yet, but I've set this to be above 200. So as this gets higher, and once it gets above the 200 threshold, this door will open, allowing this to seep out in space and close when it gets low enough, preventing the steam from actually escaping. So we'll see how that goes, possibly in the next episode. And then in the other asteroid, I'm running out of things to do over here. So I think I'm going to actually either send this dupe home, or I'm going to construct. I've got a backup of material getting back to the home world, so I might just construct a system to send a lot of material home in a rocket. Because even with a radbolt generator, the problem is this thing, I think, only shoots 200 kilograms worth of stuff at a time, or that's a minimum anyway. And I just have a lot of stuff, in addition to the crude oil and natural gas that's being sent in there. Anyway, that's the next episode. In this asteroid, I know what I'm doing. I'm going to be building a radbolt engine, and the research for that is not complete. Still have to wait. But I'm on the last bit of this. Just check before I end this episode of where I am on that. Yeah, I need more. Oh, I need more data banks. Actually, maybe I'll do that right now. This is going to be for Explorer. Well, let's not send them up without some food. But I'll give them access to food, and I'll put them up. In the next episode, they should be back down with 100 or more data banks, and then we'll continue on. I already have the plastic ready to go. Well, thanks for watching. I will see you in a future episode. We'll keep advancing. Till then.